বিরতির পর আবার ফিরলাম চলতে চলতে অনুষ্ঠানে কথা বলছিলাম উইলিয়াম হানার সাথে ঢাকা ইউরোপীয় ইউনিয়নের মিশন প্রধান Ambassador, you are talking about your life here in Dhaka, and my question is why you have chosen this life? Why you would like to be a diplomat?
Well, I suppose after university, after university in Edinburgh, I went and spent a year in Bruges. There's a College of Europe in Bruges, and I was very interested in working for the European Union. But one of the ways, you couldn't get a job with the European Union until you had some years' experience. And so the best way to get experience was to try for a foreign service, and I applied for the Irish Foreign Service, and I got in. And I think the diplomatic life appealed to me, the idea that I would use my languages, that I would travel around, see the world, and keep moving. And I was attracted to it in the beginning, and I'm still interested. And as you know, after Bangladesh, I'll go to another country. I'll be going to Ghana. So it's been a very interesting. I've seen lots of interesting places and been around the world. So
now you are looking like real ambassador. Your cap, your T-shirt, your everything is in the symbol of European Union. Wow. And you know, European Union is being an example of solidarity, example of unity.
Yeah.
It's a mega unit of 27 countries. What's your feelings after being the ambassador of European Union? You are not the ambassador of a single country. You have 26 others ambassador almost.
Well, it's different. I mean, I first of all joined the Irish Foreign Service, which would be a small foreign service, and so I was representing Ireland. But I always wanted to work for the European Union, I think because of my background and realizing that conflicts both within countries and between countries are best resolved through dialogue. And that's what the European Union is about. So I was very pleased to work first of all for the European Commission, and to travel to different countries, and then to get the possibility to represent the European Union here. And I think as you perhaps know, the main point I try to make is indeed that experience that we have in Europe after centuries of conflict. Yeah. Centuries of conflict. I mean, tomorrow is the anniversary of the Battle of Waterloo. So for hundreds of years, Europeans were fighting on battlefields, and then they decided to stop that and for the future of their continent to work together. And it has worked. It's difficult. It's very difficult to get people around the table and to agree. It takes an awful lot of effort, a lot of time, but it's worthwhile. It really is worthwhile. And I think Europe's prosperity, its peace and stability over the last 60 years is testimony to that model of sitting down, working together and dialoguing together is the best way forward, and that's what we try and project.
Last 3 years here in Dhaka and in Bangladesh, you have to face some difficult situation, especially the political situation. Some days ago, Bangladesh was in a conflict situation, and you with some other ambassador have taken some initiatives. Obviously, you have some interesting memories regarding this. Can you tell us any one of them, the most interesting memory?
I'll put them in my memoirs, which will be published in 10 years' time. Yeah. No, I think it's been, as I said earlier, it's been a very interesting time to be here, and there's been a lot of interest in what our position would be, and particularly last year when things were getting a little bit difficult here, we were very much in the headlines trying to do our job. And I think in the end of the day, all we're trying to do is to say, well, here is a model, here is the question of democracy and human rights, and this is what we believe. Now, it's then up to countries to decide themselves what they're going to do and how they're going to work forward. But I think it's our duty to always recall the principles on which we're based. And I think what we try to do is to be coherent. If we're talking about compromise, dialogue, reaching agreements within the European Union in our internal policy, well, then we try, and our external policy tries to reflect that. So we've tried to do that, and I think it's been appreciated in this country. But as I say, in the end, Bangladesh has to decide its own destiny, and we're very interested to cooperate with the country and to keep working with the country in lots of different areas.
Ambassador, you are going to leave Bangladesh very soon, I know. And during your period, you, especially the EU, is the biggest market of garments industry in Bangladesh. And the Rana Plaza tragedy, Tajrin tragedy happened in front of your eyes. And you have worked a lot regarding these issues. Can you recall these memories?
Well, I think, I mean, you remember indeed, because I think you interviewed me at the time, that this was an important turning point in Bangladesh. And I felt it was important at that stage to show the connection between Bangladesh and the world and its biggest market, and to reflect the concern of consumers in Europe about what was happening. And I think we managed to do that, and I think we managed to jointly enter into commitments to bring safety into the RMG sector, to bring the right for freedom of association into the sector where it wasn't accepted before. I think that a lot has been done. I really think that with the inspections of factories now, a lot of factories can say that they're safe, and the workers who go there can feel that they will be safe and will be able to work in good conditions. And I'm pleased that we've been able to do this in a positive way. I think the words we've been talking about are staying engaged, keeping engaged, not sanctioning Bangladesh, but saying, look, this is a real problem. The sector is so important for your economy, for your jobs, for your future. We must work together to sort this out. And it's been, a lot of work has gone in, and sometimes you wonder, but I think my feeling at the moment is that we have passed the tipping point. There is change. Change has come. Some of the people in the industry, the captains of the industry, tell me when I talk to them, they say, no, it is happening, change is happening. And that I think is the important thing, to see where a change is necessary. The old model won't hold, and to support it. And if Bangladesh can do that perhaps in some other areas, I'm thinking of the leather sector, for example, where it's beginning to happen, where people are beginning to be aware of the risk to the environment. I'm thinking of the formalin question, where people the awareness has to be there that this concerns everybody. I mean, it concerns me. I'm eating the food here. It concerns you. It concerns everybody what food we eat. So these questions of standards, of having standards, basic standards, thinking about the people behind the jobs and the industry are important.
One thing, Ambassador, can you remember? You have a project regarding village court. Yeah?
Yes.
And we have traveled Bogura and Rampur areas. So, do you think still conflict? How we can regulate the conflict among ourselves?
Well, I think the village court is an interesting example. Here is a form of local justice accepted by people, and our project, working with the UN as well, has tried to revive the village courts in each village, and we went and saw how that actually does bring justice quickly, cheaply, and fair justice to people. And that project we're going to scale it up and cover more of the country in the future. Anyway.
Okay, Ambassador, thank you for your valuable time.
Thank you. আমি খুব খুশি এখানে এসে। ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে।
Thank you.
Thank you.
দর্শক, কথা বলছিলাম ঢাকায় ইউরোপীয় ইউনিয়নের বিদায়ী রাষ্ট্রদূত এবং মিশন প্রধান উইলিয়াম হানার সাথে। জানলাম তার জীবনের নানা না বলা কথা। আমাদের সাথে থাকবেন এবং দেখা হবে পরবর্তী পর্বে অন্য কোনো অতিথিকে নিয়ে।